If you are trying to grow on TikTok without doing these 3 pretty simple things, you are quite literally throwing away hours of work. In this video, I'll be revealing my brand new 3-step system that took my TikToks from just 200 views all the way up to 1 million in just 7 days. But before we get started with this video, go ahead and grab a notebook, because this isn't some basic strategy saying stuff like post consistently or any of that other BS you see in a lot of other YouTube videos. Now, here's what most creators and gurus get completely wrong about going viral on TikTok. A lot of people focus too much on advice from people who have never gone viral before, and all these people are trying to do is trying to have you buy some type of course. The difference with me is that I have gone viral many times in the past, and now I'm currently managing some of the top brands on TikTok Shop. Just last month, 2 of the brands that I manage did over $1.5 million on Shop. And here is the exact strategy that we used. The first step is all about packaging. As soon as you post a video, you're giving the TikTok algorithm a piece of data. And the algorithm only has one kind of simple job. It is to show that content to the right person. So, of course, you need to consider this when making content. And honestly, this alone can determine whether your video gets stuck at 100 views or soars to over 1 million, which, if you're trying to grow a page quickly and make a lot of money, I like to think that's what you want to have happen. Because the more views you get, quicker the page blows up, and so on. Most creators don't understand exactly what triggers this decision. I'm here to tell you exactly how it works. The majority of advice that I've seen online talks about using trending hashtags and posting consistently. And don't get me wrong, you should be doing that, yes. But the thing is, even when you do these things, it doesn't guarantee that you'll get views. And sometimes it can actually make your videos perform worse. This is why the first step is so important. These are 2 videos from one of my creators for one of my brands. The first video didn't really get any traction. It only got like 200 views. But the second video ended up getting over 500,000. And you might be wondering, how? Well, it's actually kind of simple. When you create a video, you need to package it in a certain way. The first thing you're gonna need to do is consider the first 3 seconds of your video. For example, if you start a video with something boring like, hey guys, here's my first TikTok video. Today I'm gonna do blah, blah, blah. This is boring. And if you do this, you'll never get views. Instead, your opening hook needs to be something that catches people's attention. There are some extreme examples about this online.
Hello. Goodbye. Anyways, if you want to start a business...
And now that I've told you about this, you will start to notice how people are using the first few seconds of videos to capture your attention. In our example, let's say I'm making a video just like this one, where I'm talking about the TikTok algorithm. I would say something like, if you're trying to go viral on TikTok, do this. This is a much better hook, because not only is it concise, but it also talks directly to the people who the video is for. This will capture people's attention. If you've recently posted videos on TikTok, or really any short form platform for the matter, and they haven't performed the best, the chances are you probably lost your audience's attention at some point. And for a lot of beginners and even some advanced creators, this is usually within the first 3 seconds. It doesn't matter how great the rest of your video is. If people don't stop scrolling to watch it because of your hook, you'll never end up getting views. The videos that perform the best on social media aren't always the best videos, if that makes sense. But they are the best at capturing your attention and keeping it. Which leads us to step number 2, retention hacking. Now, if you haven't heard this term before, let me explain. But before I do, I actually want to announce that I've recently launched my own email list, where I'll be giving away some free sauce for anyone who's creating TikToks, or really any type of short form content. It doesn't matter if you're just starting or have gone viral many times now. If you're looking for some more help and advice from me, that's a good place to get it. I will leave a link in the description if you are interested. And yes, it is totally free. Anyways, if you're making content online, you need to know what the word retention even means. In the context of content creation, retention usually means how long somebody engages with a piece of content that you've created. And for TikTok specifically, this refers to how long somebody watches your video for. Now, if you've caught someone's attention, it's really important to make sure you keep their attention, because this is one of the key signals that the algorithm is looking for when pushing your video out to even more people. This is typically how TikTok will analyze content. TikTok will initially push the video out to around 200 to 1,000 people, and then it'll analyze the retention for the video. So it is super important that you keep people watching. And I know you're thinking, well, how do I get people to keep watching? But don't worry, because this is where retention hacking will come into play. The way you create your video will be a little bit different depending on niche and style of content, but overall, how you keep people to the end is very simple. You need to understand the wants and the needs of your audience. So let's take the example from earlier. If I've used my opening hook, if you're trying to go viral on TikTok, do this. The rest of the video should deliver exactly what was promised within the hook. Because think about it. If I said this opening hook in a video and then immediately started talking about how to get views on YouTube, well, it wouldn't really make much sense, would it? Another way to think of it is, imagine this. Imagine you clicked on this very YouTube video and I started telling you about what I ate for lunch. Wouldn't make sense, right? And then what would you do? You probably say, oh, okay, looks like you had a pretty good lunch. And then click off the video because that's not what you came here for. And that is why understanding the wants and the needs of your audience is important. So when you make your next video, you need to think about what your audience actually wants. And as soon as you understand what they want, you can create videos that they want to watch. And this is the hack that I use to ensure my audience watches all of my videos. So structure your videos like this. You start with an opening hook that your audience would be interested in. And as soon as you hook them, you have to give them what they want in relation to the hook that they just saw. And if you do both of these things, let me tell you, you've probably got a 10 times better chance of going viral. But unfortunately, without step 3 of my process, you probably still won't get views. So let's get into step number 3, which is engagement farming. At this point, you have all of the tools you need to go viral, but this is essentially the final piece of the puzzle. You see, TikTok doesn't just want perfect analytics because that'd be kind of boring. The main thing that TikTok wants more than any is for its users to feel something. And you might be wondering why, but it's simple. I want you to think about a video that you watched online that you loved. For example, all of my YouTube videos. I'm kidding, but seriously, think about it. You stop scrolling, you watch the full thing, and it just made you feel a certain type of way. And then, what'd you do after that? Well, you probably liked the video, you shared it, and then maybe even commented on it too. Maybe you liked it so much, you went on that person's TikTok page and watched every video they've ever created. And that is why my system works the best. While I can tell you exactly what to do when making content, it all leads back to the same question, which is, what does the audience want? And when you answer that question, you'll understand what the algorithm wants. Because don't forget, the only job of the algorithm is to put the right piece of content in front of the right person, or I should say the right audience. And you need to make your audience feel something. And now it doesn't really matter what it is. It could be happiness, sadness, anger, curiosity, whatever. But as long as you evoke some form of emotion within your content, you could almost guarantee that people will like, comment, share, or maybe even watch more of your content. Because whatever they felt it so strongly. So, I've caught your attention, I've kept your attention, and by the end of this video now, I hope I've taught you something. And if I have, I'd say the next thing for you to do now is like, comment, subscribe, and watch this video right here.